Well, friends and neighbors, after a couple of weeks, we finally got a drive belt. I think I had my last video where Bobcat gave me the wrong belt. There's a split in the serial numbers on which size belt. This belt is the smaller one. And right there it is. This is for 444s. Serial number 44,000, like 500 or lower. And the other drive belt, I think I had it in a video or 2 videos ago. That one goes in 44,000, like 500 and up serial numbers. So this one they had to order this out of Las Vegas, and their computers were down. I thought I'd have it they thought I'd have it by the 4th of July. Well, then their computers went down and it didn't come in. So I got it Monday. This is Friday. But I've been busy and things, so we're getting around to it. There's the new spring versus the spring that they had cut. So it is really tight and a pain in the butt. I have to slide that shaft back this way and move the drive sheaves back over to allow that shaft to slide. Get the belt started on that, worm it around and back over the variable sheave. So I'll bring you back when I get something accomplished. Yeah, we got Cornbread in here. He's making his rounds looking for mouse. He's never found one. But we run into a dilemma. How the heck does a guy compress that spring far enough to get this little plate slid on and the bolt started? To pull that spring off, put it in the press. I don't think zip ties will hold that. That's a pretty heavy spring. Well, I'll let you know what I come up with. I'm not kidding you, folks. There's a lot of stored energy in one of my wires. The wire on the other side, it slipped a little bit when I backed the press off, but I think I got enough room there to get that big washer. I'm gonna Loctite the I had my leather hand shoes on when I was carrying that spring over here and stuff, but I think I got enough room. Whoop, I'm sorry I didn't have you. I think I got enough room to get all 3 of those started. And I'm going to put some Loctite on some new nuts. Put the flat washers on and the nuts, and put some Loctite on there. So I'll bring you back in a bit. Well, we got nuts started. I didn't have enough room for flat washers, and I'm not sure there was some on there to begin with. That baling wire, I believe it's just gonna have to stay in there and wear out or whatever it does, because yeah, there's a lot of tension on that spring. Like I said, I had my leather hand shoes on
when I was slipping that on there, carrying it from the press and everything over to here and getting it slid on the shaft, because there's a lot of stored energy in that, and I didn't want that thing, if one of them wires broke, I didn't want the end of that wire just laying my hand open, so I tried to alleviate that with the gloves. But we got her on there, so I need to adjust that down, but I'm not going to do it until I get the belt on. And it only has to be, I think, like a 1/4 inch or so, maybe 3/8 of these threads showing, and tighten it down evenly. So I got a lot of work to do on this guy. Got all the bearings and everything to put back in. Once I get it centered and get this sheave lock back down, get the belt over here kind of where it's supposed to be. Can't be up on there in order to get it on that variable sheave, but the shaft has to go. Now this side of the sheave, it has to come back, and you can see the locking bolt. There's 2 of them. My hand's in the way. There's the head of the other one. So I'm gonna get a little more progress going. It takes way too long to video this whole operation. I wish I had enough camera space to record it all and kind of fast forward through some of it, but I don't have that much space, so that's why I'm cutting you in and out. Well, we got the bearings back on each side. Now I gotta get that shaft centered, and then there are locking collars that go on each side. So that's a fight. I tell you what, that shaft, it fits tight through those bearings, and on the back side of these bolts there's like a sealing washer, and with like gasket material in the middle of it, and that gasket material, it's about falling out. So if I start getting a bunch of hydraulic oil start seeping out of there, I think all you got to do is take the nuts, take the nuts and the flat washers back off, and I think I'll make up some lead washers to put behind those. If it becomes a problem, we'll see what happens. So I'm gonna get that shaft centered back up and get those locking collars back on there, and we'll bring you back. Now we got her about evened out. We got 1.25 inches between the end of the shaft and the edge of this plate, and the locking collar on there. We just need to tighten her down, and then do the same on the other side. I should be looking through the phone. There's more light. There we go. Now we'll just do the same thing on the other side. Just slip the locking collar on there and tighten it down. Check our measurement here. On this machine, it's like 1.25 inches between the shaft and the edge of the plate. So we'll just duplicate the same thing on the other side. Now my helper showed up. He made me put the seat down so he can watch us work. I've picked
the perfect time to go in and find my zip tie tool, because they had that Big and Rich on the radio, and to me they're about as country as a pair of high-heeled sneakers. So I can see it's going to take two hands. You gotta get that zip tie pulled up tight enough to get my makeup link in there. So it's going to take two hands, folks. Here's a shocker, friends and neighbors. If you route the chain correctly, you can get that makeup, master link, whatever you want to call it, on there by hand. Yeah, the chain doesn't go behind this. I was like, what the heck? Why is that so dang far away? And then this tightener gear, it was so close to this one, I'm like, something ain't right. So, yeah, when you get the chain routed correctly, it's a lot easier. I tell you, some people's kids, right? Okay, friends and neighbors, we got the chains all installed again. Pins in. We may have to come back and adjust the clutches, being as I had the nuts off there, but we can do that with the tires and the side plates on. So that's that side. We got this side all back together. I had to adjust this chain. It was pretty loose. That one's about right. 15 pounds and about a ½ inch there. So I did drop to adjust this chain, that's a 3/4 nut, and this one is a 7/8. You have to loosen them, put a ½ inch drive ratchet in there, and it's like it goes on a cam and they're eccentric, and to tighten it you pull this down around this way, and that tightens this chain up. And then while you got a little bit of pressure on that, tighten this 3/4 inch, which is a ½ inch bolt, but takes a 3/4 inch socket on that nut. Tighten that up, then come back with your 7/8 socket and tighten that one up. So as many makeup links or master links they have in this chain, I'm guessing that chain was broke at one time or another. See, there's another one here, and that caused a lot of this scraping on there. As that chain got it broke and got bound up and caused a lot of issues in there earlier at some other time. Anyway, that's enough of that. Now we got everything inside here done that I can think of. Everything we're all lined up with these. These are just pressed on, and then there's that half moon key underneath there, and then this ½ inch bolt. You suck it on there tight. But I think we're all done here. Like I said, I may have to come back and adjust the clutches when we're all said and done, but that can be done with the side plate on. See those holes there? They go over this, and then you have your caps screw on there. You just take your caps off and pull these keys out, and then tighten or loosen this nut right here. That's all it takes to adjust these clutches. and you just go a little bit at a time. So like I said, we may have to come back and adjust the clutches. I didn't have to use any zip ties to pull those chains up. I just backed them off, and cornbread's back outside so I can flip the seat back up. Now we have this 1/4-inch key. It goes in the shaft. And I gotta turn the shaft, dang it. I'll have to put my gloves on and turn that from the clutches out here. There we go. I don't have my glove on, but I'm doing it. Okay. There's the slot for the keyway. I think I'm going to turn that. It looks like it's got a little bevel to it. There we go. Now, our sheave. I need to find where I'm going to have to lay you guys down because I got to find the slot in that keyway and get it going. Okay, folks, we got those tight. That was a Bearcat. See that one right there, and that one right there. Penny and Matthew bought me a small set of square drive sockets. I don't have any 12-point, but and the square sockets that they bought me, I don't have one that small. I had to get a 3/8-inch drive extension and ratchet and a crow's foot, and you could go like a 1/4 of a turn at a time, but they're tight now. So I guess we start putting the belt, get the variable hydraulic drive back together, get the belt slid on first, and then start putting that back together. And once we get the belt slid on that hydraulic sheave right there, then we work it up onto this one. So we're getting closer. Well, we got the belt on, friends and neighbors, and I'm here to tell you that's a fight. I had the big pipe wrench on there, and I was turning it with one hand, and had my hand back down here holding the belt on the sheave, and toward the end there I ended up putting both hands on the pipe wrench. There it is right there, both hands right on the end of that pipe wrench and pulling on it. I tell you what, that'll make your babies be born naked. Ooh. Yeah. Well, folks, it's lunchtime or close to it, if not after. We got the hydraulic sheave on. We need to put the swivel dude back on there, which doesn't
My dang arms are so shaky from that, well, poop. Ha. Well, I'll do it in a little bit when my hands aren't shaking from pulling on that pipe, but you get the idea. I'll bring you back when I get that thing on. But I'm gonna go have some lunch and take a break. Well, friends and neighbors, we about got everything buttoned up. We got our hydraulic hose there hooked up. Got the side plates back on both sides. And we got these clutch adjustment cover nuts to put on yet. And I'm just putting them on hand tight for now, because I'm assuming we'll probably have to take them back off and adjust the clutches, being as we adjusted the chains and everything. So we'll just put those on hand tight. We have well, I gotta jack it up some more. Put the wheels back on it. That cover, roll it back around and bolt it back up. And the fuel line. So we just about got her back together. Well, friends and neighbors, as you can see, we got it out of the shed. We have an issue. I don't know exactly what it is yet, but we have no drive at all on the left side, forward or backward. So I'm thinking we either broke the drive chain or sheared the keyway. Damn it. Sheared the keyway on the drive gear. So we got to pull this cover off, and we'll take a look inside, see what's happening. Well, we got all the nuts off, I believe. So we'll pull this cover off, and if I can with one hand, and see what the issue is. Maybe I can stick you guys between my legs there. Well, no, we have one more. Hang on a minute, I gotta lay you down for my gasket down here is all caught. Sure enough, the big drive chain had broke, and it's all laying down in the oil, I guarantee. You know, the chain with all the makeup links in it? That's the one. Well, the grass is wet, so I'm going to get a piece of cardboard so I can kneel down here get a magnet, fish the chain, and start routing it back around there. That is going to be a funsy. So hold on to your grannies. I'll bring you back in a bit. Well, thank God all those bearings, even the needle bearings down inside, are all intact. And so I have no idea where all that mess came from. Those gear teeth that we fished out of there from clearing the back look like these size of teeth, because they're way bigger on the drive ends themselves, and all the other teeth on this whole assembly are much smaller. So I'm thinking that's those busted teeth came from here, and those needle bearings, like I said, all these bearings here are in fantastic shape. Even the needle bearings, I was really surprised. So, like I said, all the makeup links that were in this great big chain, I believe that chain had been broke before, possibly several times. I don't know why or how, but I think somebody did a lot of replacing at one time. Even the clutch discs still have the good lining on them. So possibly, and the only thing I can figure is all those needle bearings were in here. They never cleaned it out, and I never cleaned it out when I drained the fluid and changed the hydraulic oil filter in it. And these teeth, they don't look all that great. They look pretty banged up. So I'm thinking that sometime in the past, that's where the majority of that shrapnel came from, and they never cleaned it out. So I'm going to dig that chain out of there, and I'm going to really run that magnet, swish it around in there. When I drained this and flushed it here a year and a half ago, I just drained, well, I didn't flush it. I just pulled the drain plugs on the back. There's 15 gallons of fluid in here, and there's no shut off. It's a big, like 1.25 inch plug on each side, and when you open her up, she flows, and there's really no stopping it without just making a Jurassic mess. So I had it tilted back at a pretty good angle, so all the fluid drained out. And like I said, I'm finding all these pieces clear in the back there by the drain. So I think when the fluid drained, went rushing out through that hole, I think it just kind of washed all them pieces back there, and just none of them came out for whatever reason. And I know there is a little bit of sludge in there, and I had intended on flushing that out with some diesel fuel, but I didn't have enough buckets or anything to I had all my buckets full of hydraulic fluid, so, and I didn't want 5 gallons of diesel fuel run out on the ground, so I didn't really flush it. But so anyway, I'm going to get that chain. If I find anything else, I'll bring you back and we'll keep going. Well, folks, I fished and fished and fished. I had to bend up a piece of baling wire and fish all the chain out. It was 2 sections. That's all I could find.
It sure doesn't seem like it's long enough. And I found there was one more of these makeup links in there. So what was in there previously, I have no idea. So I don't know if I'm still missing a length of chain. I don't see how, because I mean I've fished and fished and fished in there with the magnet. Got out all the shrapnel that I'm hoping was left in there, because I'm not seeing any damage. And so I think that's 80 chain. I don't know, it doesn't say, it just has USA stamped on it. But I'm gonna go to Fleet Farm and hopefully I can get some chain. If they don't, maybe I can get another makeup link, because here there's one of the clips and I'm missing, I think, one of those dudes. Yeah. And I mean, I ran that magnet back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. So I'm hoping one of those was just part of the shrapnel from a previous incident. Keep me in your thoughts and prayers. I think that's 80 chain, maybe 60, I don't know, I'm not sure. But I'm gonna go to Fleet Farm or Baumgar, see if I can get some chain. I don't have a chain breaker, but I can make do, I guess, with a grinder if I need to shorten one up or something. I don't like all those makeup links in there, so I just soon get some new chain. These are the two pieces of chain. I put them back together and put a makeup link back in there, one that was laying in the bottom. So like I said, I had 3 makeup links, and I think there's still one down there, and I seen 3 in it before, so that's 1. And then remember when I put that chain together, there was like 1 right next to it, so that'd be 2, and that'd make 3. So I'm thinking that's all the chain. So we'll find out. Hell. Okay, folks, Matthew and I have got her figured out. We went and bought new chain and we didn't put it on. We used the old chain because it's in really good shape, other than the 3 makeup links in it. So if that chain breaks again, I don't know why it broke the first time. I have no idea why it broke. I don't get it. Unless, I think where it broke was one of the makeup links, and it may have been my fault. I may not have got it on there right, but see how messed up that clip is? So that may be my fault. I may not have gotten it all the way on there right, so that may have been the issue. We got her back together and we have the clutches adjusted. I'm pretty sure, because Matthew and I started it just a second ago and I ran it and to see if there was any chain binding noises or anything like that in there. We didn't hear nothing funky. I believe all this shrapnel is from a previous problem, because all those teeth, all those broken pieces of teeth are big, and the only thing they could have come from is those 2 sprockets right there, and there's none of them broke off. So I believe that was shrapnel from a previous issue. Matthew, we're going to put this cover back on, put the clutch adjustment caps back on, button her up, and we'll see how she rocks and rolls. Okay, folks, we're going to give her a spin now that we got everything back together. The jack's out from under it. I'm going to hand you off to Matthew. We'll see what happens here. Get my big feet. Adjust these clutches a little tighter, Matthew.
Yep.
So, but it's a lot better. We just have to take these two caps off and just got them hand tight. Let me get some pliers and pull that pin out. I think I'll use these. Oh yeah. Oops, that's the forward one. That may be okay. Yeah, oh yeah. The reverse has a way to go yet. Pretty close there. Where's my next hole? Yeah, we'll put this one in sideways because that was like a half deal. Let me turn my pin so that don't fall out. Now, we'll screw these on so the oil don't fly out of there. Just hand tight for now. Wipe my paws off. I don't want to get this fine piece of equipment all full of oil and grease. So let's try her again. Get my big feet up on the pedals and drop that like I always do. we need to go just a little bit more on this forward clutch, Matthew.
Yep.
Here, let me see here. So friends and neighbors, that's been a lot of work and a lot of waiting because we had to wait for parts from Bobcat and for the correct belt. So she's going to be working. We're just adjusting the clutches here, so there's no sense in keeping you guys on the line. She's running, moving. We'll bring you back when we get it. Matthew, just go like one notch at a time. And so with that, friends and neighbors, we're going to close this video out. I know it's been a long one. You should have been working on it. You know what I mean about long. So we're going to close her out. Be kind to each other. Be kind to a friend, a stranger, or a loved one. That's from Matthew and I. Cornbread, he's kind of MIA this morning. He didn't come in the house last night. He's probably over at old grandma's. We're going to adjust these clutches, put the Bobcat away because there's really nothing we need to do with it. And I need to get on the yard, get on the mower and get to mowing. The grass is still kind of wet. We had a heavy dew last night. And it's probably close to noon. And the grass, well, the clover, you know, it takes a while for it to dry. But we're going to cut you off here. Friends and neighbors, thanks for subscribing. Thanks for watching. Even if you don't subscribe, we really appreciate it. We appreciate each and every one of you. And if you guys got any helpful hints, you know, well, here's what I did, you know, put her in the comments. Let me know what you did, what you think, whatever. With that, friends and neighbors, Matthew, happy trails.
Happy trails, folks.